it's our mom or our dad, again, or our children or grandchildren, if it's something that's precious to us, man, we really focus in on it. You've even experienced this when you're watching something that isn't your own, but suddenly it takes on some kind of a value. And what do I mean? Well, you've all been someplace where somebody's asked you to watch something for just a minute. Hey, will you watch this for just a minute? Like, I think about times where we've been at the beach. We'll be sitting on the beach and somebody will say to us, hey, do you mind keeping an eye on our stuff? We're just going to be gone for a few minutes. We're going to walk down the beach or run back and do a thing. And, I'm always glad to do that. Yeah, no problem. We'll keep an eye on it. Well, then in my mind, I am setting up a security perimeter, right? I am like imagining tripwires and all kinds of things around these people's stuff. And because no matter what, I don't want them coming back and me like laying there asleep with a book on my face, which could happen at the beach. I don't want that to happen because suddenly their stuff has become the most important thing in the world to me, right? I'm going to watch it. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to make sure that it is safe, that it is protected. I don't merely just see their stuff over there anymore, and I am watching it. And when we looked last week as we were finishing up Matthew chapter 27 and we're about to be in Matthew chapter 28, it shows us at the end of chapter 27 really two groups of people that were watching Jesus' death, and subsequently those same groups of people are watching his resurrection. They're watching, but are they really seeing? And that's the critical piece of what we're talking about today. Is it something that we're really and truly watchful over? There's in Matthew 27 verse 55 at the end of the account of the crucifixion, it says many women were there watching from a distance. Now most of y'all know this, right? The women were there and they were watching and they were waiting and they were wanting to take care of Jesus' body. They had followed Jesus from Galilee to care for his needs. They wanted to help in any way they could. And they had experienced his horrific death. And at the same time, the Bible tells us there were also guards that were then placed at the tomb. And what was their job? They're supposed to watch. All right, that was literally their role, literally their job. And then, as they're there watching, there's an earthquake. After 3 days, of course. There's an earthquake, and these guards see an angel come down and roll the stone away. Now, I don't know exactly what this looked like. I don't know if the angel just walked up and went like that and the stone rolled. I don't know if he's pushing the stone. I'm not sure. But the stone rolled away, and there was an angel, and they saw it. And it said that they were afraid, and they became like dead men. My guess is they passed out. I don't know. But that's my guess, okay? And it's not in the Bible. It just says they became like dead men and, just out from what they had experienced. It says they shook with fear. Rather than being moved by this amazing supernatural moment of a stone being rolled away by an angel, right? Jesus being alive, Jesus not being there in that tomb anymore that they were supposed to be guarding. Fear overwhelmed them. And instead of, and the Bible's going to tell us this when we read it in chapter 28, instead of being like the women who are going to worship Jesus all the more, the risen Lord, they are actually afraid, and then they run back to the powers that be and say that this happened, and they are then bought off to tell a lie about what happened, about what they'd seen. They saw it, but they didn't really experience it. They saw it, but it didn't change them. And they end up taking a bribe to tell a lie that the disciples stole the body. So that you can see a thing, but are you really, truly watchful in such a way that the thing that you see, the truth that's in front of you, changes you? Let's look here. In Matthew 28, 1 through 20, because the hard truth is, and some of you may be in this room, but there are many more around us. Some watchers refuse to believe the resurrection even in the face of overwhelming evidence. Some of us fail to focus on the truths of the resurrection in our life day in and day out because we are so distracted by things that don't matter, like guards getting bribed off with a little bit of money to ignore the fact that the risen Lord, the God of the universe, rose from the dead in front of us, and an angel came down from heaven, and we're more interested in something temporal. Matthew 28, 1 through 20, it says,